My name is Peyton and I am from Colorado in the United States. I grew up in a smaller town, but growing up in Colorado gave me a lot of love for adventure and the outdoors. And later I was able to travel to Asia at the age of 14, and that really opened up my eyes to a whole new culture, and that's when I really became interested in Asian culture and this idea of eventually living in Asia. So I came to Mongolia 1 year ago, and now I am in Taiwan teaching English. So while I was living in Mongolia on a Fulbright grant, I had 2 weeks that I got to come and travel out in Taiwan, and I really enjoyed my time here. It was during winter, so the weather was really great. And when I got back to Mongolia, I applied to the Teach Fellowship, and then when I got the Teach Fellowship, I was really excited and looking forward to an opportunity to not only live in Taiwan, but to gain more teaching experience. The support from AICEE has been really great for someone transitioning from one country to another. It takes a lot of the pressure off because I had people to help me with the process of becoming a temporary resident, getting my ARC, and they also help place you at your school and really start to build that initial relationship with your school. And it's also nice to have a cohort that's going through the same thing as you, so we can come together and kind of talk about different issues we're having and get ideas for how we can improve our teaching and our relationships with our co-teachers. So I really appreciate that there's like a built-in community through this fellowship. One of my Taiwanese co-teachers taught me this word, mochi, and it means having mutual respect for one another and being able to work together and collaborate. And that's what I think co-teaching is. It's being able to be on the same page with each other, to move synchronously. And I think like the most important thing is make your co-teacher shine. Like you should try to make each other look the best. Like you're both the best teacher. My co-teachers definitely have more experience than me, but they give me a lot of feedback after class and ways that I can improve. And we like to have a talk and show during our class. So I will ask my co-teacher a question, and then she will pose the question to the class. And just having like an extra person there gives you like less pressure, I would say, but it also makes the classroom more engaged and lively. In Taiwan, through this program, we get to have a bilingual environment. So it's not only teaching in English, but it's also in Chinese. And what I really enjoy is I get to bring so much creativity into the classroom. I get to bring more than just rote memorization of grammar or vocabulary, but I get to actually teach about my culture and teach the things that I teach my hobbies. I taught my students how to bake cookies and just get to do a lot of fun things in order to give my students more of a global perspective. I really think my school has a lot of resources. I was surprised. We have smart boards in all of our classrooms. The school has an iPad cart, so I can ask for iPads for all of my students for a class. We have a really great library, so I've been really impressed that I have so many resources here in Taiwan. I have 2 types of classes. I am teaching a bilingual health class and English. So in my bilingual health class, since a lot of it is in Mandarin, I try to bring English in through interactive activities. My goal is like getting students to interact with each other and interact with me. So I like to do songs and sometimes role play. So recently in a class I was teaching students about family, and I gave them each a person in their family and then like role played a scenario that they might have where they can help their family. And in my English class, I am having students write pen pal letters to another school that my friend is at in the United States, just to bridge culture and get my students, more familiar with English and the United States. Right now, one of my goals is to improve my Mandarin. So I'm taking lessons twice a week here at my school, and then I have a private tutor. And doing that, learning the language, has really opened doors for some pretty cool relationships. So I remember one time I went to this traditional tea store, and I ended up talking to the owner for about 2 hours in my broken Mandarin, and it just was a really cool experience, like sharing tea with him, and one of those experiences you can only have when you're really immersed in a culture. And it's motivating me to want to learn the language even more. My advice for other teachers who are thinking of coming to Taiwan is you can really bring your whole self to your role. You get to be really creative. So if you are musical, if you're artistic, if you like to bake, if you really are interested in history, you can take all of that and incorporate it into your teaching here in Taiwan. There's just a lot of room for you to be creative, but to also grow yourself as a teacher. So yeah, my advice is just bring your whole self. 你好，我叫 Peyton， 我是英文老师，我来台湾8月，我爱台北。